Hey guys, my name is Aijalonwallace. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Nomad Recruiter. I travel the world and make places for a living. If you're looking to start your recruiting or staffing agency, I am a coach and mentor, and I helped a lot of students scale their agencies to 6 and 7 figures. It's no Lambos, it's no mansions. I'm not here to teach you how to be rich. I'm here to teach you how to be free at the end of the day, and I'm only looking for hungry students. So today we're going to be talking about how you can make $20,000 per month starting your staff agency. More so, the video is going to be centered around how to get started, more so less. And then, of course, the money comes into play. For the most part, guys, make sure you check out my website, nomadrecruiters.com. I do have a lot of testimonials and a lot of reviews. I have real names and real people. So when you're looking up people, just make sure they're legit. I'm a 360 recruiter as well. That means that I've worked for 2 recruiting agencies. And I've done both the finding my own clients and sourcing my own jobs. So sometimes people don't know the difference between what kind of recruiter most of these coaches are or what type of experience they've had. You have some people who are internal recruiters, the people who used to work for like Amazon, Facebook, LinkedIn. These are not jobs where you're doing actual recruitment work. You're doing more HR admin work. So, when you're working for an internal company, most people are already applying to jobs there and you're not finding your own clients. A person like me that worked for agency recruitment, I was a 360 recruiter. So I had to go out and find my own clients, I had to find my own jobs and find my own candidates. So it's important to ask this question when you are talking to new coaches out there that are trying to teach you how to start an agency. What type of recruiter were they? And you can always just do your research on them and look at their LinkedIn profile, look at the agencies that they work for, if you can find any of them as well. So I think that's extremely important. Starting off, I like to explain the difference between recruiting and staffing because I get a lot of people calling me and we're getting hundreds of calls a week, guys. If you're not able to get on the call with me sometimes, I do apologize. I am building my sales team now. I'm hiring more people because we're getting an overwhelming number of calls. But I do want to apologize if you're not getting, booked because we're being very selective as well at the end of the day. One thing I want to say for a lot of people that's trying to get their, agency off the ground, with recruiting focuses on full-time direct hire. So these are permanent positions. Staffing focus on contract and temporary positions. Okay. So these are two different areas, and people don't really know the difference sometimes. Sometimes people get discouraged from doing staffing. They're not familiar with the recruiting side of things, where sometimes it may be a little bit more easier and less legwork compared to running a staffing agency. I do teach people how to start a staffing agency. Mostly what we do is we teach people how to partner with with a staffing partner who supplies you with the licenses and insurances you need to get you off the ground. But it's extremely important that you learn how to recruit. A lot of people get into our business or into this industry and they just assume like, hey, I'm going to find a candidate, I'm going to find a client, I'm just going to make a deal. And it's like, no, you don't understand how to qualify, how to ask questions, the scenarios, everything you got to go through. You need to understand how to actually be a recruiter, because when you compete against someone that's very experienced like myself, I'm going to run all over you. I'm just going to tear you up. So it's important to actually learn the process and the steps and the full recruitment cycle before you just jump into the industry and at the end of the day. So for a lot of people that are trying to start their staffing agencies, one thing you want to specialize is a niche within staffing. Okay. Now, a lot of people are calling me about healthcare and nurse staffing as well. Listen, often when we go to a hospital, the assumption and the mindset that most people assume is that there's only one floor in the building. There's 20 floors in the building, but often everyone just sees ER emergency and just see nurses, and that's all they see. You have IT departments, you have sales departments, you have business departments. There's so many floors in a hospital, in the healthcare space. There's so many different industries. You have technical healthcare, you have business healthcare, Salesforce healthcare. There's so many departments that you can specialize in. So for a lot of people that are constantly calling me about healthcare, nursing, staffing, just understand as well, be a little bit more open-minded to the other possibilities out there at the end of the day, just in case you get discouraged or you feel like you don't know what else to do, or if you didn't know about it, because a lot of people are not well known about the recruiting and staffing side of things. If you're trying to get your staffing agency off the ground, it's extremely important that you go get your LLC or your S corp, you register your business. I am not an accountant, so I would advise you to speak with an accountant or a tax player or a tax accountant, someone that can help you out. I think that's extremely important. I would advise you to open up a business account. Go with a bank that supports small business owners, just in case in the future you may need to utilize them for business loans or business credit lines or whatever as well. Definitely want to get a website You can use companies like Wix or Fiverr to get your website up if you want to take the initiative. And I also show you strategies inside of my program if you want to look into, some of the strategies that I offer. But for the most part, don't overthink it. The websites are designed for credibility. And most importantly, I would strongly advise you to look into getting a LinkedIn company profile page and a LinkedIn page as well. I think that's extremely important to establish your credibility. For a lot of people out there, they may be asking, well, what do I do if I have a job but I don't want my job to know? Well, you still can establish a company page and you can use your partner or someone else or your virtual assistant to potentially be the face of your company, but you want to establish a LinkedIn presence. I think that's going to be highly important when you're trying to do outreach. For a lot of people that are trying to specialize in healthcare, you have to understand your market as well. Some of the jobs boards that I recommend, such as Indeed, Monster, Career Builder, Dice, they may not always be as beneficial for healthcare niches. So you want to understand where to go search for nurses. There are a lot of nurse.com websites and Facebook groups and so many other platforms that you want to look into depending on that niche that you're going to be specializing in the healthcare space as well. So do understand that every niche is completely different on how you source for it. And it's extremely different as well for a lot of people because I do have students in my program from Nigeria. I have people from Canada, UK. I have a lot of people from London. I have a lot of people from Australia, America, Czech Republic, Eastern Europe, South America, Chile. So you name it. I have hundreds of students in my program now from all over the world. So the strategies I teach are universal, but the platforms are different. In Australia, they use a platform called Seek, which is very similar to Indeed, and they have a similar platform in the UK as well. So everything is usually the same. It's just maybe a different payment plan or maybe a different process, but every country usually have a popular job board that for the most part everyone uses at the end of the day. Do you need an ATS system? Guys, some people assume or they just hear these big words or these popular words within the staffing space, ATS, ATS, ATS. Listen, you don't need an ATS until you start building up a pipeline of candidates and clients. For the most part, if you don't have a strong candidate or client pipeline, why would you start wasting money on an expensive platform? So off. I don't want you wasting money. I don't want you spending $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. This is the stuff that I've seen when people are calling me on a daily basis. I'm hearing these ridiculous and crazy scams when you don't even have any clients. I know people out there with ATS platforms spending all this money and they have no clients. You have no candidates. You have to still think about your software tools that you're going to be using, Swordfish, LinkedIn, Indeed, and so many other platforms that you're going to have to spend money on, including the branding of your website and the branding of your agency. So you have to be wise about your money and stop just doing stuff because you heard it on the internet. At the end of the day, you have to understand that some of these platforms and some of these coaches are just trying to get you excited and just try to sell something to you. And, I want to keep it 100 with you because, a lot of people are struggling right now. Inflation's at an all-time high. I want you to be conscious of the decisions you're making when you're trying to get your agency off the ground. I would strongly advise for anybody that's looking to start their staff agencies to hurry up. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes because there's more competition. There are taking clients that could have potentially been yours, especially at a level of exclusivity, which is extremely important, for the most part. Niche down in the healthcare space, but look at other areas within healthcare and look at other areas within outside of healthcare as well. You have digital healthcare, you have sales, you have geospatial, you have cybersecurity, you have blockchain. You have so many areas that are really starting to grow for the most part. So I really want to push you and challenge you to think more outside the box at the end of the day. But if you want to be free, recruiting and staffing is a $400 billion industry. Everyone's going to always need a job at the end of the day. It's a very lucrative industry at the end of the day. Now, rates can depend on the agency, but I've seen nurses and other niches within the healthcare space, range from anywhere from 50 to 150 an hour. And often, usually you may be paying your nurse 75 and you may be pocketing the rest. But the thing about staffing is you only get paid when your contractor work. Another thing about staffing, what a lot of people don't realize is that the reason why recruitment and staffing is so different when you're doing staffing, a contractor is registered under your agency. So anything that happens, liability or insurance wise, it falls back to your agency. And for the most part. and that's contract and that's staffing. And you only get paid when that contractor goes to work. But the thing about staffing as well is not a business based around loyalty. People are constantly jumping from contract to contract. And for a lot of people that don't really understand or no, you don't really start seeing money until you start bringing on like your 20th contractor. And it takes time. That's why I keep trying to tell people this is not a get rich business, but it is an opportunity to create residual income for yourself and create an opportunity for you to be free. Now, with full-time direct hire, with recruiting roles, these are one and done deals. And you don't have to do any license, you don't need licenses, you don't need assurances. And the reason you don't need this is because you're selling off the candidate to the client. So the client owns the candidate now. When you're doing staffing, your agency owns the candidate. And there's a lot that can come with that for the most part as well. For a lot of people that are looking to take actions, like once again, if you want to learn more, if you want to get started, I am looking for people who are looking to take action for the most part. You can check out the website at nomadrecruiters.com. I do have real names of real people. I have the most testimonials out there for the most part. I'm still recruiting as well right now, and I'm coaching. We have our weekly group coaching calls for the most part. You get access to our private Facebook group. You get lifetime access to the program as well. I'm not here offering subscription services or, I'm trying to take advantage of you. I want people who want to make it happen. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, reach out to me. If you're looking for quick wins, fast money, I'm not the guy for you. I'm sorry. There's other people out there who are offering programs like that, but I'm looking for somebody who wants to grow, who's willing to put in the work, and who want to start closing deals like a lot of my students that are closing deals at the 30,000, 50,000, 100K roles as well, potentially. One of my students just made his first million this year, and I'm really proud of that. For the most part, I'm going to try to get him back on the channel just to talk about his experience and go from there. And listen, guys, if you like my content, I need you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I got 10 kids to feed. At the end of the day, I don't have no children. But I need you guys to support the content if you want to see more content like this, as I am one of the number one content creators out there for YouTube content. I have over 500 videos on my channel. So let's go support your boy. I can't wait to see you soon. I appreciate your time.